Since the early years of 2000, terrorism has been a major source of concern for many countries around the world. Terrorist attacks on places such as the United States on September the 11th, 2001, Madrid in 2004, and London in 2005, among other countless incidents that left an indelible mark on our collective conscience. The effects of such attacks are far-reaching, as they not only cause destruction and loss of life, but also psychological trauma to people all around the world. However, while terrorism affects many countries and cultures in different ways, it is important to note that Muslims and Arabs are particularly affected by terrorism due to the negative image that has been created in the eyes of the public. Terrorism has been an integral part of the Middle East landscape for decades now, with many countries including Iraq and Syria being deeply affected by it. The perception towards Muslims and Arabs in general has become increasingly negative over the years due to high-profile terrorist attacks around the world that are often attributed to these two groups. Terrorism has caused a major shift in the perception of Muslims and Arabs, resulting in discrimination, stereotyping, and prejudice against them globally. As a result of terrorism, Muslims and Arabs have often been associated with violence, extremism, and radicalization in the public discourse. This has led to increased discrimination against them, with many people viewing them with suspicion and mistrust. Furthermore, due to the negative publicity generated by terrorist attacks, many football lovers and tourists were skeptical about visiting Qatar. Examples of targeted discrimination towards Muslims and Arabs in the United States include the implementation of travel bans which deny entry to citizens from several predominantly Muslim countries, increased surveillance on mosques and other places of worship in the US by law enforcement agencies, proposals for a Muslim registry which would have required Muslims in the US to register with the government, and a sharp rise in hate crimes against Muslims and Arabs following the September 11 attacks. The negative image of Muslims and Arabs has had a devastating impact on their lives, leading to increased discrimination and prejudice around the world. It is important to remember that terrorism affects people from all backgrounds and religions, but it is particularly damaging when it is associated with a particular group of people. If we want to fight terrorism effectively, it is essential that we challenge negative stereotypes and ensure that people from all backgrounds are treated fairly and equally. Hollywood has consistently portrayed Arabs as terrorists, extremists, and villains in many blockbuster films. From the early days of classic action movies such as Indiana Jones to more recent releases like American Sniper, Hollywood has perpetuated the image of Arab people as untrustworthy or worse. This one-dimensional image of Arabs created by Hollywood reinforces outdated attitudes that are not true anymore. This reinforces the idea that Arabs are dangerous or untrustworthy. The common portrayal of Arabs also paints them as backward and primitive compared to Western culture and values. They are often seen living in desert settings and portrayed as uncivilized. Titles such as The Siege 1998 and True Lies 1994 are just some of the films that depict Arabs as terrorists. In these movies, Arab characters are presented as a threat to a safe society and must be stopped at all costs. The depiction of Arabs in these films often relies on past stereotypes and reinforces negative views about their culture and religion. The negative representation of Arab in Hollywood films has had a significant impact on the way they are perceived by people around the world. Arab stereotypes portrayed in popular media have contributed to increased prejudice and discrimination against them. Research shows that as a result of this, members of the Arab community face greater difficulty finding employment worldwide or accessing services due to negative stereotypes about their culture and religion. Furthermore, it has been found that these damaging images lead to a decrease in empathy for Arabs, making it difficult for them to gain acceptance from the broader public. This perpetuates the notion of Arab people as other and keeps them on the margins of society. In order to move toward a positive representation of Arabs, it is important that Hollywood make a concerted effort to produce more balanced and accurate portrayals of Arab culture. This could include depictions of Arab people in various roles outside of terrorism or extremism, and creating stories that are reflective of the diverse range of experiences within the Arab world. It is also essential that filmmakers strive to ensure that the stories they tell are true to their source material and respectful of the culture they are depicting. This includes making sure Arab characters are given the same level of complexity and respect as other characters in the film, avoiding stereotypes or cliches about Arab people, and consulting with members of the Arab community when developing scripts. These were some of the many points that the Western media forgot to take into consideration when making judgments on the Qatari government's actions and statements. It is essential that we realize that terrorism, or any form of misdemeanor, is not due to one particular religion, but due to one's mindset. No religion in the world is with this, and it's high time that the world recognises the effort by the Qatari people to go beyond their means and open their arms to the world. Do you think hosting the World Cup in Qatar was a good idea? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to Crude Docs, where we're going to be going over money, power, tech and crypto. Thanks for watching.